seam right here, I feel like that's just a little too strong. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Waves Titus Build-A-Figure. If you're trying to pick this up, you can get it at
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
So what do you think of my little art display of the Titus Build-A-Figure parts, right? Looking very cool. Anyway, the furry hand right over here comes with Drax the Destroyer. The other hand comes with Yondu. The head comes with Darkhawk. The left leg comes with Vance Astral. The right leg comes with Angela. And then the torso right over there comes with the Kid Nova. And Star-Lord did not come with any Build-A-Figure parts. So let's get this guy all built. Will you take us away, Bumblebee? Alright, let's zoom out over here a little bit. So I'm going to move the legs aside, move the head right there, and take the arm. Now let's start with the arms. Why the heck not? So this is the right arm, but I had this turned around for that awesome display. And that pops in right there. And take the right arm, pop that in right there. And then take the right leg and come on. And then take the left leg and smoosh it. And then I'll form the head. And here's Titus all built, and I kind of like this figure. I kind of don't at the same time. I do like that he does look really cool in a little bit more stoic or casual poses like this. Not so much with the dynamic poses for this guy, I think. It just, I don't know, there's something weird about him trying to pose him around in dynamic poses that just doesn't really fit well with this look for me, but I do like how he looks. I think it's a cool character, a very obscure character. When they first announced him, I was like, Titus, what? And you could actually feel that in the room at San Diego Comic-Con. Like, everybody was just like, Titus, what? But anyway, he does look neat, and there are some cool things about him, so let's take a closer look. Is it Titus or Titus? It might be Titus, right? It could be Titus. It's probably Titus. But anyway, looking at the history of Titus over here, he was one of the Black Nova Corps members, or a supernova, along with Sam Alexander's father, Jesse Alexander. And Jesse Alexander made the difficult choice of abandoning his Black Nova Corps members to go see the birth of his son, Sam Alexander. In doing so, the Chitauri raided the ship and shot Titus right in the eye over there, as well as killing Flish. And that's basically how he's the villain to Sam Alexander, and he wants the helmet that was left by Jesse Alexander, which Sam now has. And I also remember seeing in a comic where he was fighting the Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't remember exactly when, probably like a little bit before the Yotat battle. If you remember, let me know. But anyway, looking at the head sculpt over here, I think it looks really good, man. I think they did a really good job with this. I really like the paint on here too, for the most part. I like how we don't have just a solid white for this guy. You can see that there's some gray mixed in there. They have this nice gray wash. A couple parts where it looks a little spotty. But I think the paint right there for the teeth and the gums looks really clean, as well with the tongue. I like the little furry sculpts right over here. Wish he had an articulated jaw. I thought he would have one, but nope, no articulation on the jaw. That would have been really cool to have, but, you know, well, it's not a thing with Hasbro. And I really like the silver paint right over here on his bionic eye. That looks really nice. Very, very cool. Now, I wish the scar that was left here from the Chitauri was a different color. It's like the same color red as that's in this little mechanical eye or bionic eye right here. So if it was like a lighter pink or something, I don't know. I would have preferred that. And then this left eye is kind of looking off to the side a little bit. Yeah, I wish it was looking more straight ahead, but, you know, it still looks pretty good. The black paint here looks all right. I'm liking that. You can see some nice fur sculpted in there, and you can see the gray mixing in with the white. And here's looking at the top of the head, looking really good. Now, looking at the rest of the figure, there's a lot of reused parts here from the Space Knight Venom figure, except for this upper torso. I think this is brand new. This looks very different. I like the gold collar right over here. I think the paint apps for that came out looking pretty clean. And on the back of it looks pretty good. And I really like his right arm right over here. Oh yeah, which also was blown off during the Chitauri raid and replaced by the Chitauri too. But I think this looks really good. I like that a lot. I'm really digging it. Now, unfortunately, due to the way these shoulders are sculpted, I do have a little bit of chewing going on right over there from moving these shoulders up and down, but it's not the worst, you know. But anyway, looking at this, I think it looks pretty nice, you know. Could use a little bit more black, you know, to be more consistent with this part right up here, but not too bad. And I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, I like how that arm looks. This part right here is actually filled in the promo shots where you could see some red, which, you know, I like having this empty, so if you wanted to add effects to it, you can. And you'll see in the photo gallery at the end, I did add some flame effects to this, you know, trying to spruce it up a little bit. But nice sculpted detail in here, nice gold paint. I like it, looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. Torso looks okay. Now, the left arm does have a bunch of splotting all over the place. I mean, a little splotching of the blue right over on the gold right there. Same thing with the gold on over the blue. So I wish this was done a bit cleaner, you know. So yeah, a little bit of a bummer. And I do think his left hand is a little on the big side. I don't know. I know it's supposed to be a big furry hand type paw, but still, I don't know. I just think it's a little too big. But again, I like the gray and black paint mixed in there with the white. I think that looks really good. Then looking at the lower sections of the figure, not too much new stuff going on for Titus, but, and then you can see he has the same exact legs as a Space Knight Venom, just different paint over here. So you get those same sculpted details and everything. No calf cut right there. It really feels like it should be one, but it's not. And you can see some marbleization in the plastic, but it's not too terrible, and he does have peg holes under his feet. Now, does the head look a little on the large side to you? I think they went a little too big on the head, but it's not the worst, right? Anyway, the head articulation kind of bothers me some. It's kind of hard to move it around, man, to be honest with you. You do get side-to-side movement right here. He can't look up, though. He will look down that much, and there's just the tiniest bit of head pivot right there. His shoulder joints can move outward that much, and I do have a weird cut on my hand. I don't even know how that happened. I don't even feel it. But anyway, you can move his arms forward that much, and the arms will only move down that far. His left hand or his left arm has a bicep swivel. You get a single jointed elbow that bends in that far. You get wrist rotation, and it hinges up and down. On the right side, you get a bicep swivel, which has gotten fairly loose on me rather quickly, and you get a single jointed elbow that bends in that much. I wish you could rotate this whole thing right here, but you can't. He does have the ab crunch that moves forward that much, and it will move back that much. You get a waist swivel. He does have hip joints that move outward that far. He can kick forward this much, and he will not move back. You have an upper thigh cut right there. The jointed knees. That's kind of a funny pose for Titus. And you don't get that calf rotation, but the ankles move down. They move up a little bit, and he does have ankle pivot. Now, to measure out this Titus Build-A-Figure, you can see that he's standing a little over 8 inches tall. And for a size comparison, you can see the Titus Build-A-Figure right here next to the Venom Space Knight, and you can see how they share a lot of parts, right? Now, one thing that's very different about the lower sections of these figures, which kind of trips me out over here, because from the waist down, they are exactly the same as far as the sculpt goes, except for these lines that are sculpted on the calves right over here. I really think Hasbro meant to add calf rotation on these, but you cannot churn that at all. That is stuck. That's just molded in there. That is not going anywhere. But if you look at the Space Knight Venom right here, there is no such line sculpted in that calf, but we do have that here. And then the rest of it is exactly the same, so it's kind of weird. Then comparing Titus to some other Build-A-Figures that we've seen from Hasbro recently, we have the Build-A-Figure Rhino, Sandman, Groot from the first Guardians of the Galaxy Build-A-Figure wave, and Dormammu have come to bargain. Then comparing Titus to another half-man, half-feline type creature, we have this Masters of the Universe Classics figure. I can't remember the name of this character, but I think he looks really cool. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. I can't remember his name. And here's Titus next to all of the other figures from this wave, and man, what a good wave this was. You know how I know it was a very good wave? It's because it was very difficult for me to come up with my least favorite figures from this wave. So I have these all ranked from my least favorite to my top favorite, and at the very bottom of the list, which one gets it, which one gets it, which one gets, it's gonna be Drax. Yeah, so Drax is at the very bottom of the list, just because it's a repaint. It's a very good repaint, but we get a brand new head sculpt over here, and that's really about it. So just aside from the new head sculpt, which I still think was a bit on the big side, I think Hasbro could have given us more accessories, like another head, you know, or a repainted head from the first version. Anyway, number 7 goes to Titus. I just was not that excited to get a Titus Build-A-Figure. I mean, there's a lot of other characters I would have preferred to have had in my Marvel Legends collection, and I do think the figure looks alright and everything. It's just not that fun for me to pose around. It doesn't look bad. It's just, it's just definitely not one of my favorites. And then number 6 goes to the new movie Star-Lord figure, which I think is a very good figure. He's only just lower on the list because I already have a movie Star-Lord figure, but this one is much better, and it will definitely be replacing my first Guardians of the Galaxy movie figure. Alright, next on the list is Vance Astral. I'm very excited to get a Vance Astral. This is another repaint, obviously, but I really like the new head sculpt, and I really like the paint apps a lot. I'm very pleased to have the character, so I was very excited to get this character in action figure form. And then ahead of Vance Astral is Yondu. I'm very impressed with this Yondu figure. Just a lot of sculpted details in there. I like the interchangeable heads. We get this new effect with the arrow and everything, so I was very pleased with Yondu. And then it goes to Kid Nova. Very happy to get a Kid Nova. When that was first announced, I was like, oh yes, thank you so much. There's so many display options for this guy. This is definitely needed in our collection. And then the number 2 spot. You may be surprised because I complained about the figure a lot, but number 2 goes to Darkhawk. I really like Darkhawk a lot. Now, of course, I had mentioned in my review that I'm more familiar with the character design than the actual character just from the time it was released. I was a kid and I was like, oh, he looks so cool. And I'm just very happy to have it, and I had a great time taking pictures of this figure. Yeah, I have a lot of complaints about it, but for the most part, I was very happy to have it and I like it a lot. And obviously, number 1 goes to Angela. This is definitely on my top 10 list of my favorite figures of 2017 already. I absolutely love the Angela figure. Definitely number 1 out of all of these figures. And of course, here he is next to the Marvel Legends Big Time No Letdown Spider-Man. Then here's Titus wobbling ever so slightly on this Mezco stand, and I did get him in a fairly dynamic pose. This is the most dynamic pose I think I've gotten him in so far. So if you try a little harder, boom, there you go. Now what I did here is I actually removed his head, and it's actually kind of just resting on the hinge part of that joint instead of actually being properly placed on the ball peg that it's supposed to go on. But the plastic right here is squishy enough where you can kind of get it to sit there and it'll stay fairly well. So hey, I was able to get him in a more dynamic pose, but I'm not changing his placement on my list. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this review. Let me know what you think of this figure and the whole wave. If you want to follow me on the social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I have action figures for sale over at ShartimusPrime.net, and you can see a full photo gallery of images all over at MarvelousNews.com. I'll catch you guys later.
Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay.
That's crispy.
We're shot in your face. I said we're shot in your face. I said we're shot in your face. I said we're shot in your face. I said